Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today we're doing a first impressions and unboxing of the amazing S9 Tab Ultra. This is a beast of a tablet. Quite possibly, or actually arguably, the best tablet available in the world right now. And I just wanted to express to you, if you were thinking about getting one of these, why you would want to think about getting one seriously, and why you might not want to get one as well. So this is going to be a very quick video on, I've already obviously unboxed it because the box it came in was absolutely enormous. I'll show you what that looks like. But also, I just wanted to give you my impressions of using it for quite literally the last 4 days. I've had this only 4 days, but I've used it every single day, both in my personal life and in my professional life. So let's get into it. Okay, so first and foremost, form factor. When you take this out of the box, you are not going to believe just how thin it is, okay? So if we hold it up like that, it is incredibly thin. Now the specs will be in the description, but basically to get perspective on that, it's like holding a thick plate of glass, basically. If you imagine this to be a piece of glass, that's what it feels like in your hands, and you just cannot get over it. Now, if you're gonna hold this thing naked, then you definitely feel it. Now, one hand to the other, it's not really a single-handed device. That's the first thing you're gonna get up straight away. You're not going to be able to use this very easily using one hand, but it's super comfortable like so, obviously holding it in both hands. And of course, what you're going to appreciate most of all is going to be that panel. This panel is unreal. It is the best looking tablet screen I have ever seen, and I absolutely love it, and I can't stop wanting to look at it. It is one of those things where it's like a pleasure to use it, or to have the opportunity to use it. And because the bezels are so tiny, then you've got all screen real estate. It really is absolutely fantastic. Now you've got a built-in fingerprint reader, which is very quick. They've got a lot better now with Samsung, so they're very fast. It also has facial recognition as well, should you want that, which is also actually very reliable. If I lock it and then unlock it, it's already got me recognized. So it is very fast, and you swipe up. So you've got various choices ranging from fingerprint sensor to Face ID, which is obviously less secure. So this really is, and I went for obviously this metallic gold color, which I really like, because obviously the black one is very generic and black. In addition to that, in terms of design, you've got a very tiny bezel. You've got One UI 5.1, if you're familiar with One UI, everything's going to be super familiar for you. But obviously it's going to be blown up in order to expand for this enormous screen that you've got going on here. So of course, things are going to look a lot bigger than they are normally. But you can adjust the size of icons as well as the fonts, etc. So all of that is adjustable to your liking. It's got all the functional widgets. The setup is exactly the same as if you've got any Samsung device. If you've got a Samsung account, then installing all of that is very quick. They've got much better and much faster at doing a transfer. So I did a wireless transfer from my Samsung Note 10 Plus onto this device. I didn't transfer all my images because I didn't really need to, but I transferred most of my apps, 80% of my apps, and it did it in about 20 minutes. So we're talking about maybe 45 gigabytes worth of data, and this was over wireless, and it was quick. So the transfer process is very good. Even on Android, I believe it works very well. Obviously with Samsung to Samsung, it's fast. With Android, it's still going to be fast, but perhaps not as fast. So that's very normal. Now, what comes in the box? You get a pen. Oh my goodness, you get the stylus, which comes in the box. Not like Apple, where you have to pay 130 euros extra. This comes in the box. Now, have I used it that much? Not really. My kids love it. What they love is the fact that I can put that right there and it starts to charge the pen, which is super duper cool. If I take that off, it's been there all morning, it starts to charge it, and there I get a charge notification. So it's very, very cool. What I also like is they've actually put an additional location. So if I want it on the top there, so not on the reverse, but I want it on the top so it's more handy. And of course I can lay this flat on the table because of course, if you want to put it down and the pen is there, it's not flat. If you put it there, it's going to be able to lie flat. So that was a very clever addition. Now it doesn't charge when it's on the top here. It only charges on this bar back here, but that's fine for me and absolutely no problem at all. As you can imagine, the consumption of media is brilliant. The consumption of your photos or images or videos that you record is brilliant. Now, I haven't done a camera review for this. I'll do that in my full review coming out next week. But the cameras actually look half decent. And even the forward-facing camera, actually, in fairness to this, normally tablet cameras are pretty rubbish, but Samsung have taken this quite seriously. So it's got a dual camera setup here on the front, and you can definitely see that the quality is right up there. So it is actually very, very good for video conferences. I've done WhatsApp conversations on this on video chat. I've done a Google Meet as well, and the quality and crispness, I'm very happy with that. So this is effectively like having a laptop, but without the keyboard. So of course you've got the whole screen or the whole panel, but without the actual keyboard attached. Now, if you want a keyboard, then if you go for the deal that I went for, which was you get it bundled in, you get this enormous case that has a protective zone for the pen and a full keyboard. In this case, it's going to be a Spanish keyboard because I'm here in Spain, but this is a fully functioning keyboard that only works, it's not Bluetooth, it only works via the 3-pin system just there, which snaps in. So I'll show you how that works. Now, it is very, very sticky. So when it's in there, it's really in there. So we just attach it and then we pop on the back. I need to put the pen back there as well. And then we can snap that on. And there we are. That's now attached to the keyboard. That is a pretty enormous tablet and keyboard setup because of course this tablet is enormous, but this is a professional setup now where you can obviously have the tablet in this arrangement and it's going to be looking straight at you, and of course the angle. Now the angle cannot be adjusted. So the angle that you've got here is fixed. So the limitations of this case are you cannot adjust the positioning of the angle of the tablet when it's in this upright position, which is a bit of a shame. Also, the magnets that hold it closed are actually surprisingly strong. And because it's a new device and it's quite heavy, you have to be a bit careful when opening it in order to get to it without actually causing any damage or without it coming out. Because sometimes the only thing keeping the tablet inside the case are magnets. There is no clasp whatsoever. So if you look around this case, there's actually no clasping or clipping whatsoever. It's all attached by magnets, which is both cool, but if it's not quite attached properly, then there's a risk of it popping out or sliding out, which is terrifying, of course, because of the relative value of this product. Otherwise, though, the first impressions as they go, you will not be disappointed with this device because you've got Android, you've got One UI, which has fantastic features, and you've got DeX. And if you don't know what DeX is, you need to put a comment below and I can do a video on it because that is an entirely expansive operating system, very similar to Windows, in fact, that allows you to have a desktop view on the tablet, and it is just brilliant. And so this will provide all the solutions that you need, 90% towards having a laptop. There are some things that a laptop will still be able to do that this might not, but pretty much everything else will be covered here because you can connect this to a cable, to another monitor. So if you want to have an output onto a larger screen or an even larger screen or something different and then take this away with you, then you can do that. All of that's possible. You can connect wirelessly with DeX as well. So if you want to project onto a monitor, TV, whatever you want to do, you can do that with this as well. And it works brilliantly and almost flawlessly. The lag is getting better and better every year in that there is much less lag than there ever used to be. So it's a fantastic device. You will not be disappointed. You just have to get used to the initial weight. And of course, you will probably want to put a case on it, whether it be a Samsung one or a third-party case. because it is unwieldy, it's got relatively sharp edges, and because it's so large, you need as good a grip as possible in order to view. And of course, you're going to want to rest it somewhere because it isn't very, very light. So those are my first impressions. I would highly recommend this device, but I won't necessarily recommend it fully until I do my full review. If you're looking to get this device, you'll find links below. If you follow those links, it helps my channel massively. I really appreciate you watching. If you have, please put a comment below if you've got a tablet or thinking about getting it. If you'd like to know any specific things about this, I can put them in my full review. But otherwise, I hope you appreciate that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon in my next one. Bye-bye for now.